to your Eclipse Report. This is the Peace Dealer. And thank you, per usual, for ordering this report. You know I got you. This, of course, is quite the perfect report to get, especially during the season. And this is relevant, of course, for everybody, but exceptionally for those who have natal planets and progress to in Aries and Libra. There are, of course, varying layers that will really, really start to shift now. Initially climax in April, 6 months from now, complete in July, and then pretty much, wrap up October of next year into December of next year. And by March, the North Node in 2025 is already in Pisces. Yeah. So, of course, the definition of this nodal axis is bringing a conclusion to social expectations and really conformity and characterization in society, and as a result of influence of society, it's a mass departure while the end of the world is facilitating, so that while now everybody points towards their own authenticity, and everyone who's at least true to themselves, I can't speak on fake people, this is going to make way for the end of this old world, hence why people are having to leave society. And it's not that they have to leave it physically, but as far as identification and how they identify with what occurs in mutual, relevant, and respective societies. This will now make way for the New World Order, Saturn and Neptune carving its new cycle through Aries, so that once we create the new society, and we now have these planets transiting Leo to Scorpio, we have already, of course, developed new authenticity to now build the way towards that. And the reason why that's important is because you are an upper echelon celestial representative of these dynamics, hence now basically majority of the human population alone, who most are experiencing this as a soul lesson or whatever they chose to incarnate with. You are the legendary few who came here to assist and guide humanity, hence representing this seventh house quality of humanitarianism and really just celestial knowledge and energy. Cosmic awareness is classic Aquarius sun. Enlightened individual awareness is Gemini sun. Social awareness is Libra sun, classic social awareness. And then cosmic awareness is actually Aquarius sun. And this is where now post-Saturn going through here, Saturn that's going to go direct in Scorpio season, is now bringing hardcore disillusionment. One thing with air signs especially, we represent this awareness or understanding with the moon of logic, of truth, of knowledge. So especially with Aquarius, you were born being way ahead of your time. Aquarius, which not only represents the future, hence the reason why Sagittarius is the ascended vision that shows you beyond the present. Well, this is relative to your awareness and dealings with the collective and through other people. Having you experience through this 6 month eclipse cycle from Libra to April of 2024, the disillusionment of people who have projected their own insecurities at you relative to the innovative concepts you represent that may not fit within their belief systems. And so now they have to take it out on you because they're weak, because you challenge their beliefs, and then they're connecting their identity with beliefs they feel like you're challenging them, weak stuff. You representing ascended cosmic strength, literally having the strength card rising, will trigger so much of this inauthenticity and insecurity within others per usual. This is nothing new to you. But because now the nodes will be getting closer to Venus, a lot of what you are unlocking this Libra season and route to 6 months from now, with the checkpoint, of course, being every January and July Capricorn and Cancer season, which is even more important because now you actually also have this square your nodes. So I'm going to talk about how that also adds more of a crossroads. That Libra is going to enact the transiting nodes and square years, but now every Capricorn and Cancer is going to just compound more. We'll talk about that. So basically, coming out into April of 2024, this is going to serve massive disillusionment from other people who are reluctantly having to admit that all of the projections they made out of fear against you were never true, obviously. And this is going to now break you through how much more intimately and how much more powerfully and influentially you get through, not just to other people, but the collective, to the entire collective of other people. Anything representing your interpersonal relationships with other people, although happening at a much more abstract cosmic scale and causal scale, while also experiencing what you experience in 3D. So the first part of this is, of course, now to the end of the year, January. This is basically going to draw from your third to sixth house, which you're going to be aware of, from your ninth house as an aqua sun to your 12th house. So this is effectively ascending the unlocking of how you see your social skills impact others in society around you. And this is enabling you to take the updated new insight, ideas, skill sets that you are evolving relative to this year and will integrate at the end of the year. Okay, coming into Capricorn, you're taking these new abilities, you'll integrate them into your lifestyle. But as an Aquarius sun, you're aware of how that transcends your dealings with other people and how much more confidently and courageously you really kind of lead as the ascended master you have become since 3 years old, actually. And once again, because of the presence of the nodes here, now your natal destiny has everything to do with helping people really find the special nature of their own belief systems that they're meant to actually tap into. That's vague as fuck, but it's really speaking more into, in a nutshell, helping people tap into the depth of their own unique feelings and energy signature, which is not the easiest to put into words because it's not really just one thing. It requires a lot of surrender and sacrifice. And it could feel like you're meant to take one for the team, but to understand this, one just merely needs to look at the South Node. You help unlock integrity in people's lifestyles and behavior. You're literally destined to really directly or indirectly point out where other people, I'm not going to say yourself, other people, especially collectively, may be unbalanced or may lack the necessary integrity to really hold themselves accountable to the discipline of the life they live. This is more behavioral elements of their behavior, because once you now make sure they have that integrity is going to enable them to dive deeply and surrender completely to their emotions in the guidance of their true spirituality, their spiritual beliefs, their unconscious habits. This is now, in a sense, you unlocking supernatural power relative to where it belongs in their life. This could also be you connecting with a very special quality of friends that help guide you along this, because you're going to do this, but it's going to be based on how, as the universe is teaching assistant, or you know what I'm saying, humanitarian, you assist humanity in doing this. Your destiny is an individual destiny, but you're unlocking the power of the collective. So because this is in that service, sixth house, 12th house position, albeit it falling in the fifth, 11th house, the square from Aries and Libra is going to challenge how well everything that you manifest and the individuals you trust clash with the form of your own routine you're meant to instill. And this is where, once again, the checkpoint in January is going to prepare for you to make the necessary shifts, especially with Pluto in Capricorn, to fully awaken and transform your routine in preparation for the next decade, where all of this will integrate in your relationships with others, because you'll be awakening other people. Like, Pluto's going to use you as the conduit to awaken your celestial, supernatural quality to make relationships that you sponsor the most extraordinary. And all that screams superstardom. I'm not even going to lie. So with that as well, Uranus is also creeping on your Saturn. So this is also going to suddenly awaken unexpected success as well. By the time you get the Uranus square Uranus, it's virality, amongst other things. And you've already been on TV, which is the coolest thing. All right. So with that being said, we want to keep in mind that eventually the North Node is going to unlock your heart. That's the main important thing here. You're unlocking the social capital and value of your skills. Your third house Libra social skills, social Libra skills, third house, the abilities that enable you to take your social personality on stage and perform them, of course, extraordinarily so with the knowledge of what you're doing, like a boss with Saturn here too. And so this is going to really point to how not only you develop your philosophy of self, using these social skills to show people who you are and to show people your talent and heart, but this is also going to develop deeper intimacy relative to who you're able to not only trust with your heart, but who you're meant to trust, not only with your heart and these values. But this is where we kind of switch this, because now the North Node in the North Node in Aries is still third house to your Aquarius sun. So I spoke to an Aquarius who also was going through. She had a different rising, but the way that she went through this was starting a podcast. It's almost as if she was sparking a new voice, which is the theme for Aquarius, 100%. You're destined to really now not only spark Aries, this new voice, third house of Gemini from the Aquarius sun, but because Venus is here, this is going to really adjust how much more you take the raw talent you've always been blessed with and now really, really direct it towards the right people who are meant to really take part of this. This is going to secure so much self-employment, or just more. It doesn't have to be employment as much as just like, trust of resources and money that you can come into. And so everything post January coming into April is what's going to secure that. Of course, through your birthday season, that's going to integrate this routine and behavior of everything that you're unlocking now. The attitude and approach Libra season that's going to become the lifestyle will now become the philosophical approach as a Leo rising that you express with your attitude as an Aquarius sun. Boom. That's what this 6-month pipeline from now till then is for. It's going to take ideas around your awareness of what you no longer want to really deal with and socializing with others, or what you want to instill. And then, of course, by Aries season, that is what you are deciding to move forward with. That's going to be what you're believing in. That's going to be how much more passionately you're expressing yourself. And that now brings in the first part of this eclipse. The next part of this eclipse is going to be from April 2024 to October of 2024. And that's going to bring the North Node about 6 degrees Aries. So this is going to be the period where it actually goes over your Venus, if not before. Jupiter by May will have returned in your Gemini. So that's a huge feature here, where during this eclipse period in Aries, you will have your Jupiter return. We're also going to see a much more clearer square or exact square between the nodes and your nodes. So because we want to look at the emphasis of the North Node square, Libra sets you up for Aries season, Capricorn sets you up for Cancer. And this is where from April to July of 2024, this is going to really be some of the most bold individual action towards the development of now this updated and evolved attitude and behavior. Although as a Leo rising, this is going to be taking this awareness of these sincere behaviors, and it's going to transcend. It's going to release what no longer serves you while you're still moving in this new direction, which is important because now Jupiter by this point, by July, in Gemini is going to be actively expanding and blowing up your career, blowing up how many people support you and are knowing you relative to projects you put out or whatever you're putting out there. All right. And of course, we have to know the unconventionality with which it's going to be. By this point, Uranus is fully squaring your sun and moon. So I'm telling you, I'm just calling it again, bro. Everything about this screams virality, and it's based off what you're putting out there. So I don't think it's going to be as planned as you may think. You can plan it to perfection, but there's just going to be many things. It's not just even one thing. It's going to be many things that you weren't planning to like get you attention, that gets you attention. And I don't even think this is about attention, but it's just inevitably going to be something you come into. And by the time we get to that Cancer season, this is going to challenge you to not so much take a risk, but to move more in a direction that feels the most sincere and authentic to you. This is what Aries season is going to prepare you for. And that's where with the square, once again, the challenges in January, Capricorn season and Cancer season, want to make sure that everything you are aware of, you are at least authentic about. For example, like during Capricorn season, there are going to be certain rules that you have to abide to in order to integrate this into your lifestyle. But the square between your personal nodes are going to make sure, no matter what rules you have to do, is it authentic to you? Because if it's not authentic to you, the square between the nodes will really clash and make it impossible. And now this question is coming up again. Yeah, this is what you're going to be aware you feel during July, right? Especially relative to letting go of old habits and behaviors because you're ready to start anew in Leo season. But make sure that it's authentic to you. And by the time you actually initiate this eclipse, you'll be aware of what is authentic to you. So this is just going to make sure you still remember what you did April and align with that, okay? Because once we now finish this part and we go past August, you are effectively relaunching this debut of your personality. But now with Jupiter out of your 10th, Uranus is ready to come out your 10th. It's closer to Saturn. And now coming out of that 10th house cusp, this is putting you more in a position to gain greater visibility and forward motion in whatever you're wanting to do with your legacy. Which at this point, the innovative quality with Uranus is something that's never been done before. And it's just giving you the liberation to do whatever the fuck you want, which is really dope at your age. So this is what you're going to personify with come August of next year, bringing us back to the eclipse of Libra where we're at now, but except this time, Jupiter is further in Gemini, probably retrograding at this point, and Pluto is back again in Capricorn for the last time. So this is where the Libra season difference between this year and next year, this year is transforming your belief around your legacy. It's transforming everything that you'll see as possible because you're breaking through this year over the next 6 months. You're going to be like, oh, wow, I'm actually able to do this because I'm seeing these type of results. Next year is post those results. It's like, okay, I've already seen it. I could do this. So now this is what we're going to aim for. It's like now that you've broken through the grounding, you could also look at it as this is the year your truck comes in with all the items that you are now unpacking your truck with. And then next year is you hitting the neighborhood and taking these items and sharing them around the community and coming through a lot of that. So by next year, you're a lot more square on the direction you're taking these investments. Of course, here's the thing. As this gets closer to Pisces coming into 2025, this will enter the seventh house region, or rather past the eighth house region. It's enter the seventh house region. And coming into Pisces by like 2025, this is going to take that philosophical direction and approach and apply that direction towards how you're dealing with other people. By this point, Saturn and Neptune are at the Pisces. The focal point is going to be here. So that's just something to keep in mind. Everything is kind of getting ready to integrate your personal expression towards the other, the collective, other people, and how other people show up in your life. So Libra season is going to once again unlock this, but the nodes will be closer now to sextiling your moon around this period of October. And it's going to once again point you towards this direction closer to your heart. But with Jupiter more in Gemini, you will have more ideas to expand on. Whereas this year is really just making sure we're grounded and footed on, of course, the strength and quality you want to achieve legacy success in, and what that looks like, and how you're going to have to make the right moves with people. Next year is going to really be more of the effect of that, and should really be more, ease. Should really have more ease of effort. But yeah, that's not to allude that things have to be hard now, but it is still something to keep in mind. And that's going to really conclude that eclipse cycle coming into Capricorn season once again, where the nodes by this point will have entered Pisces. We do want to reflect that Venus that's going to be hit by the nodes will make not really just relationships, but this interpersonal expression of your heart in its raw original quality in Aries be the focal point, which can bring money or focus on money and relationships, romantic and platonic. But it's going to be really more about how much more originally you can trust the right people with your heart, and how that will enable more excitement to actually trust and connect deeper with, original people, putting you in original circumstances and unlocking original situations for you to make a crap ton of money through. Okay. You stay blessed as always, per usual. Looking forward to your feedback, and until next time, peace.